Here at the park, gonna tell you, I told you yesterday, I would tell you the most money I made in a day. If I look down, it's because everything is on this piece of paper right here. Everyone wants to know the number, I'm sure. $510.56. Here's the thing, a lot of people told me deal cash. A lot of people, I think, were probably just saying it because I wasn't, and they wanted to like tell me I was doing something wrong. Plenty of people genuinely wanted me to make the most money. My theory is, at Orleans, because of how many Omaha 8 tables run on the cash side, it's less than you would make elsewhere. And I told you in yesterday's video, these 3-4 videos after day 50 of 50 would transition very well. Tomorrow, I'm gonna get into the differences, the numbers between dealing cash, dealing tournaments. But it comes into play in this video because I'm just telling you, on this day, where I made $510.56, which was the only day I made over 500. It was the most money I made in a day. I dealt, how many cash downs? I dealt 7. Let me get into it. That might sound like a lot. Oh, you dealt 7, yeah. See, told you, deal cash and you make the most money. No, that brought the average down. So, here's the thing. I was on the clock that day for 11 hours, 46 minutes. This was before July 1st, so the regular wage was $11.25 per hour. The overtime rate was that number multiplied by 1.5, whatever it is, like 1680 or something. So for the first 8 hours, I was getting regular pay. So that's 8 hours multiplied by $11.25, so that's $90. Then I was on daily overtime for the final 3 hours, 46 minutes of that day, 3.76 hours as a decimal, multiplied by 11.25, the wage, multiplied by 1.5, 50% more for overtime, and $63.56 paid in wage for the final 3 hours, 46 minutes. So the total wage for all 11 hours, 46 minutes, $153.56. I dealt 2 no-limit hold'em downs that day. We're guaranteed $15. 15 times 2 is 30, so I got $30 for dealing no-limit hold'em tournaments. The bulk of the money that day came from the mixed game downs. I don't remember what it was, horse, triple stud, I don't remember what it was. But it was a tournament that was not hold'em, and I dealt 12 of those downs. 12 times $20, because we're guaranteed $20 per down for those. And if you hear some noise, there's like a baseball team stretching on the other side of the center field fence right here. So 12 downs times the $20, $240 just from dealing the mixed game tournament downs. Now, I dealt cash for 7 downs. How much money did I make in those 7 downs? $87. Yeah, better than nothing. They want me to deal cash, I'll deal cash, fine. But $87 in 7 downs is $12.43 per cash down. I make more than that dealing no limit hold'em downs, $15 per down. I make more than that dealing mixed game downs, $20 per down. The least pay of all 3 things, no limit hold'em tournaments, mixed game tournaments, cash, the least pay per down was dealing cash. That brought the average of everything else down. So, you add up everything, if you just wanted to check the math across the bottom, $153.56 for the wage, plus 30 for the hold'em tournaments, plus 240 for the mixed game tournament downs, plus 87 for the cash downs, $510.56. So there it is, that number again, $510.56. And I do want to say 2 more things as it relates to all this. In yesterday's video, I was talking about, yesterday's video was the most and the least amount of tournament downs, most amount of mixed game tournament downs, etc. Yeah.
What's your channel?
The name of the channel? Vegas Poker Nomad. Vegas Poker Nomad.
Wait, you play poker?
Yeah. You too. Alright. I doubt they remembered that, but if they check out the channel, that's awesome. But yesterday, I was talking about the mosts and the leasts. So, of the 9 most profitable days I had dealing, 7 of them had 0 cash downs for the entire day. This day had 7. There was another day that had 2 cash downs. The other 7 of the 9 most profitable days I had dealing had 0 cash downs each. So, cash was not the way to make money. I'm not saying you should hate dealing cash if you're a dealer. I'm not saying if you're dealing at the Horseshoe Council Bluffs, you should want to deal the tournament instead of cash. I'm not saying if you're dealing at Best Bet Jacksonville, you should want to deal tournaments instead of cash. For me, dealing Orleans, just looking at the numbers after the fact, not making a prediction before the fact, not being biased beforehand, it happened. I kept track of things. I'm looking at the numbers now. I made the most money on days that involved mixed game downs, not the days that involved the most cash downs. So I want to show you how little cash was happening while I was making money on those 9 most profitable days. And now, similar concept, but on my 8 most profitable days, 4 of those days had at least 11 mixed game downs. There was a day with 16 mixed game downs, a day with 14 mixed game downs, a day with 12 mixed game downs, and a day with 11 mixed game downs. The way for me this past summer that just happened at Orleans to make the most money in a day was to get a lot of mixed game tournament downs in, not a lot of cash downs in. That's what the numbers are saying. I didn't make up the numbers. I didn't make an actual ledger of everything that happened and then make a fake one just to be biased and say I hate cash games. Just looking back at the numbers, and that's what the numbers say. My biggest days involved a heavy portion of dealing a mixed game tournament and a very low or invisible portion of dealing cash game downs. But tomorrow's video, because these videos transition so well, tomorrow is a much better breakdown. This was just, the topic was the most money I made in a day. What was it like? Tomorrow's video, a lot of data on tournaments, a lot of data on cash, because I really just told you about one day just now in this video. Tomorrow is really encompassing all the days. There were 50 days of the series. I dealt 46 of them, and a much larger scope of which was better for me this summer, dealing tournaments or cash. And remember, rice is a spoon food.